Hello, everybody. We are now on week 4, and week 4 is the over the hump and into the final stretches. And for some people don't like this week more than any others. I actually found it very interesting when I had to take this course a zillion years ago, but I found it very interesting because it's what actually a lot of people think of being white collar crime. And I want you to think about how this crime differs from other crimes. On this chapter, they've given you corporate fraud and they've given fiduciary fraud. And they've looked at the banks and they've looked at how America was looted behind the doors. And so they've given you at the Enron scandal, which is a really phenomenal scandal. I lived during that, and I didn't know anybody that was affected by that because, quite frankly, I come from a very blue collar family. But I can tell you that my parents had put all their savings into a bank just about maybe 10 years before this. Their savings, their whole life savings were in a bank, and the bank went upside down. And they lost all of their savings because it at that time it hadn't been guaranteed. So a lot of laws had changed. And I remember my father saying, that took us 30 years to save that amount of money. And for them it was $15,000. It was their whole life. And it just sent them spiraling because they were like, how are we going to take care of, ourselves in our old age, and how are we going to be able to do the things that we need to do to the house. And I was one of 7 kids, and it was a big worry. It was a big, huge amount, the biggest amount of money they've ever had in their whole life. So when I sit there and I look at the Enron players, this was a little bit later than that, and a lot of laws changed because of it, what had happened and how people had been bamboozled and been taken for everything. When you see them where they were, at one point in time it was trading for over $90, and when it finally sold it for was 26 cents or somewhere thereabouts. And think of the people that lost their shirts on this. They actually lost how they were going to take care of themselves in the future. So do you think the people who made the billions of money off of this are living poorly today? Well, one of them died, but you think the person who went to jail, was supposed to go to jail for over 24 years, he did not. I'll let you look that up to see how long he went to jail, but he did not go to jail for 24 years. How that, affected what happened when he came up. Where's he living? What beautiful little location. Do you think he's worried about who's getting his groceries this week? I don't think so. So I want you to look at that, and I want you to write about that. And I know it's a different assignment, but I'm hoping that you enjoy it because it's probably something different that you've never had to do in any of your classes before. Which brings me to the discussion is on the savings and loan scandal. And then we're going to be doing the paper will be on the Enron. And so that's going to be the Enron scandal. And there's an awful lot, as I said, that's been put in there for you to have. But this is much different than any assignment I'm sure you've ever done before. So I'm hoping you find it interesting. I hope you don't find it too hard. If you have any questions, you can call me. Remember, this is due on Saturday at 11:59 at the paper. Your discussion is due Thursday, but the paper is due Saturday at 11:59. I look forward to hearing from all of you, and if any of you have any questions, you can certainly call me. I want to make sure one of the things you people look at, everybody looks at, is the rubric. Very often people overlook the rubric, and the rubric will tell you exactly what I'm looking for on this paper. And most importantly, what I want you to know is that you must have at least 4 pages to cover this. You could do 700 pages on this, on the Enron scandal, and you wouldn't have enough. So I know this is an awful lot out there for you to find, and I hope that besides what we've given you, that you also go and you find more that will help you. Remember, Wikipedia never counts. I don't use Wikipedia, so don't use it in your papers. But doesn't mean that you can't go to sites and look and see where they got theirs, and then go and find where they got their sources and try and verify it. And you can use that. Remember, .gov sites are always well. I want you to look at what law was written into effect to so this never happens again. Um, and what does that mean? It won't happen again, or does this mean they'll find a loophole? I always think that there's a loophole, and I think we saw that on the buyout recently for, well, the stimulus packages, that a lot of the big businesses got money that was it supposed to go to the big businesses. What were the loopholes they used, and was that illegal or legal, or did they like just stretch it? So best of luck, and I look forward to your papers, and I'll talk to you next week. As always, you can contact me at 413-883-3537. Bye-bye.